loud, Elly. You're just now figuring that out because you can hear it.
Right.
Eureka.
One of the comments, because I haven't looked at the iTunes comments in a long time about the podcast, and one of the things just says Elly cackle. And then it says something like, "Can we stop that?" or something like that.
Cackle.
Yeah, you can come here and stop me yourself. You can't stop. That's involuntary.
Can't stop, won't stop.
The cackle. The cackle.
Thanks,
Ciao.
Trey.
Thanks, Trey.
Hasta la vista.
Hey. Ads. Yeah.
Do you have them? Is this why you have this apparatus in front of you, or are you just coming here with some
I don't know if I get
some
bored.
inspiration?
No.
Surf the web.
Please tell me what is inspiring on that thing.
Nothing. I'm trying to come up with workouts for the
okay.
Mayhem Madness. So if one comes to my head, I want to have my iPad ready.
You got to be able to write. You got to be ready.
A stroke of genius.
Yeah.
Just
Sometimes it hits you, you know. The worst is like when you're laying in bed at night.
Yeah.
And then you keep replaying it and you're like, don't forget this.
Yeah.
Don't
Or
forget
in the
this, don't
shower
forget
or
this,
something.
Don't forget this, and you always forget
That
it.
always happens on a run for me. Every time I run, that
Yeah, and you're like,
happens.
don't forget it, and you still forget it.
Yeah.
I've
It
learned,
keeps me up at
seriously,
night, yeah.
like to write it down.
Yeah.
Turn the phone on, do what you got to do. Record it.
That was my thing with lucid dreaming. I went through this phase where I was trying to do it, and like I swear that because you like I set my alarm, I hit my alarm, hit snooze, and immediately try to go that space between sleep and not sleep. And I swear I would come with like these amazing insights, and I'm like, this is so
there a
awesome.
space between sleep and not sleep?
We need it.
Isn't it just awake?
No.
If you're not asleep,
You're not a
You're awake.
scientist.
I think your brain does something different.
Really?
I don't know.
There's four kinds of ways. I don't know. I'm not a scientist.
Because I don't
say
know,
that.
man. I go to sleep and I'm
But-
out.
This is what,
I don't
alpha,
know.
beta, whatever.
yeah, I mean, there's different levels of sleep, but
Gamma.
it's
Right.
you're either
Just kidding.
asleep or awake.
But who was
Maybe.
it? Was it Benjamin Franklin that had the recliner, and that's where he would do his lucid dreaming? And I swear, I hope it's Benjamin Franklin, and came up
I
with some
think-
of his best ideas.
I think
So,
everybody
So
just...
anyway, the whole point is I was trying that, and I kept like while I was there,
You
I would
know
always
the place that's between sleep and awake, that place where you still remember dreaming? That's where I'll always love you. That's where I'll always be waiting.
Yes, it's a song. It's not real science. It's a song.
What? Well, I could never remember them, and I remember always finding something great, and then I'd wake up and I'd be like,
Actually,
It's a place where love
Okay.
lives.
pinpoint where
all
that was
right,
from.
I'll take that. That's nice.
there's a transitional state.
See?
Hypnagogia is the experience of the transitional state between wakefulness and sleep in humans.
Wait, say that word again. I want to know.
Hypnagogia.
Hypnagogia.
Hypnagogia. I was
Is
in
it-
hypnagogia
Isn't
all
it
the time.
hypnagogia?
Hypnagogic.
Hypnagogic. I've
During
heard
the
that word before.
onset of sleep.
You would
So
know.
you're asleep.
Okay.
It's not really like you're either awake or you're asleep.
Yeah.
Why are you such a hard charger about if you're awake or you're asleep? Why
Because-
can't you not have hypnagogia?
What?
It's either you're awake or asleep.
I just don't know why
Hypnagogia.
it makes you upset.
Can you like fall asleep fast, Rich? Or do you like struggle with
Kind of
that?
depends.
Yeah. I don't know. My whole life, it doesn't even matter. I'm just, boom, I'm out.
Really?
Just gone.
That's got to be nice.
Mine just depends on what's going on. If there's a ton going on mentally, if I can shut my brain off.
You still take the same amount of melatonin?
3 milligrams every night.
I was talking to my dad last night, and he was saying, Elly, it's kind of similar to the word you just said. He goes, I just can't believe it. They gave me this new stuff. It's actually helping me sleep. And I'm expecting him to be like
Something profound.
something heavy, you know?
Right.
And he's like, Melatonin. And I said, what? And he goes, you know, that Melatonin. And I was like, melatonin?
The more and more stories you tell about your dad, the more and more it makes sense.
No, he's really,
Your
really
life makes
smart. He
sense.
just
Yeah.
can't.
I know, but I'm just saying.
You know,
Maybe there's a couple of those things.
you know, I watched.
No, he's brilliant.
he just,
But I'm just saying.
No, when he
a lot
talks,
of
you're
the
like,
stuff that you say makes sense. now.
oh, can I tell you? Just it's not inappropriate, but it's slightly inappropriate. I got to find the exact language. It's another story he told me. Oh my gosh. Oh, please tell me I wrote it down because I don't want to butcher it. Oh yeah. So he's been in the hospital recently, and he asked the lady. He goes, "Are my test results back?" And he said the nurse walks over, picks up the sheet, and goes, "No, sir, your testicles aren't black."
What?
And he was like, "What?"
This was the joke, right?
That's what he says.
Okay.
He claims it's real, and we're like, "You made that up," but you're not witty enough to make that up. So certainly he had to hear it on the floor somewhere.
Oh,
We laughed for a long time.
clever nurse.
He is. Someone was clever.
Clever nurse.
Clever girl.
Melatonin. My wife said that she was going to reduce her intake of melatonin because there's some new study that says it's correlated with hair loss, and she's worried about her hair.
You
Maybe
also
I should stop taking it.
You stop producing your own melatonin.
I was thinking about that. Yeah.
It's similar to like testosterone and things like that. Like if you take it too long, you stop producing it.
Yeah.
Right.
But you just, I mean, in my mind, I guess would have to, fluctuate in how often, or like maybe go a day without taking it and then take. But
right.
You swear by it, so why would you? I don't know.
What happens if you don't take it?
Just
for a couple
lay
days.
there, and I think it's more of a mental thing because that's like
Right.
I'm like, oh, should I? Did I take it? Did I not take it?
When was the last time you didn't take it?
Couldn't tell you.
I'm having trouble sleeping with my arm falls asleep now. I sleep on my side, and I started snoring a ton,
Actually,
but I got on my
opposite,
side.
Jim, it says topical melatonin they're using for treating hair loss.
I wonder where she got that from because she was all worried. She's like, I don't know if I can take it anymore because she doesn't want her hair to thin.
Yeah,
That would make sense.
Myth.
But my arm falls asleep now.
Mine falls asleep when I sleep on my side. I have
But
to sleep on my back.
to the point where like
dead
it
to the
hurts.
world.
Yeah,
when
you wake
when it
up
wakes
and you're
up.
like,
Yeah.
You gotta pick it up.
Seriously, I wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning and I'm like, okay, get it below your heart. Shake the thing.
So, do you just sleep on your back now?
No, I got to get on my side. There's something that, I know.
Put your
Maybe you
arm
need a
under
pregnancy
pillow. You
pillow.
ever try that?
Yeah.
I have to. So I have to
Yep.
put my arm under a pillow and then have a pillow that this arm rests on.
Yeah.
Because if it goes down, I don't know, it's awful. But if it rests up, and then I have to be hugging a pillow.
Yeah, I do the same thing. I
That's
get on my
best
side.
sleep.
I've got two pillows. I got the perfect stack of pillows that my head goes on, and then this one kind of goes under it, and then I got to go pronate.
Yeah.
And then I'm okay. But how do you stay like that?
I can't sleep on my side. I have to sleep with like a pillow fortress around my head.
I sleep on my back to start. No pillow.
Yeah.
Pillow on my stomach. Hands around pillow. It's on. You can leave it open if you want to.
You want this open? He's carrying tools
For
around.
sure,
I don't know what the big deal is.
Siri's listening or something because on my feed I keep getting all these contraptions
Sleeping
for sleep.
contraptions?
Like this one thing, you get, it's like I don't know, it's like this big, I don't know, like a contraption that you lay in and it kind of props you up and it's got a hole so your arm can go through it.
Like a pregnancy pillow.
Sorta,
It
yeah.
is kind of funny that it targeted you for something that,
Well, it's crazy.
Were you tempted to buy it at all?
I am.
Okay.
I keep kind of looking at it but then I don't want to be that guy, walking in with that whole damn thing and throwing it in bed next to my wife. I'm that guy.
Well, I mean, if it makes you sleep and as hard as you work out, you need your sleep.
I don't know. my
mean,
pride. I'm just,
right.
Good, man.
I don't know.
hey, honey, go get your contraption.
Can't sleep in here. Did you pack your contraption for your next trip?
Oh, my God.
Oh my gosh, I've been waiting for a time to call you guys this, but it hasn't come up. I watched Back to the Future 3 this weekend. I love that movie. And why did this leave? Why do people not call cowards yellow bellies? I've been wanting to call you guys a yellow belly since I watched the movie, but you haven't really acted cowardly.
Yellow belly.
It's a great word.
Yellow.
Yeah, he's
Yellow
like, you,
belly.
What
Where'd
are
that
you, a
come
yellow
from?
belly?
Yeah, where's that
Is
from?
that like
I don't know.
It's
I'll have to
from-
look that up.
That's like
Fact check.
I'm going to just guess. It's like a Civil War. You're a coward. You're yellow.
No, it's got to be older than that.
You think?
I don't know. I like it. It just sounds historical.
Yellow belly.
Jeez, I hope it's not.
I don't know. I don't think that's one you
inappropriate.
should use.
I don't know. I just thought it was pretty.
That
The other
sounds-
thing is, could you imagine how hot they must have been? Like the chicks in all that clothing and the multiple layers of dress. Like the men have, the button downs, the vests, and then like capes, even the barbers. And I'm like, if
Right.
that's actually realistic to that period of time,
Term
they
yellow
must have been
belly
so hot.
is archetypal American term, but began life in England in the late 18th century as a mild derogatory nickname. Yellow bellies. This is There you go.
And what's it that equivalent to now? What's a mild
Coward.
derogatory? Oh no.
Wuss.
Wuss. Well, that's a good parallel.
Yeah.
I would say.
Else
Yeah,
yeah,
but
say
I-
on this podcast.
Start with the P. I watched Rich encouraged me, and I watched Grumpy Old Man the other day.
Oh,
Haven't
Dre,
seen
is
that
that a
in
new
a
shirt?
while.
Oh, man, that's a
wow.
cool
It
shirt.
is a good shirt.
Actually, I need that shirt. I've got the original that doesn't have any of the text or anything on, or the Mayhem.
Oh, nice.
There we go. Thanks for the new shirt, Dre. Can anybody buy that shirt? Anybody can buy that shirt? That shirt right there. Wow. The shorts have been released, Dre. Yeah, all caps shorts have been released. Ellipse. Is that what those are? Ellipse? Dot, dot, dot. but you put 4 dots, 5 dots. I don't think that's a thing. I think it's 3 dots. New socks, blended bottles, plus metal ones back in stock. Wow. 9. I said 9. 9, not 8, but 9 different styles of hats are en route to Cookeville, Tennessee. Released sometime next week, hopefully.
Wow.
That was kind of a letdown. Sometime next week, hopefully.
Hopefully.
Maybe.
Who knew all you needed was a sheet of paper for the most enthusiastic.
I mean, Sunday.
You could go to Hollywood now.
Monster truck rallies.
I like it.
It's a good run.
Yeah, it's a good.
Oh,
kind of the scripture here on
what
the.
What is the scripture on that one?
This one
is.
Are they
all the
First Thessalonians 5:16 through 18.
Cool.
Chapter 5. That's nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Good shirt.
Get one, everyone.
25% of proceeds go to Mayhem Mission.
Woo! Whoa, something was in there. I really like that serve shirt too, by the way.
The sister or brother shirt, whatever gender you want to call it, is the serve shirt. It's the Froning Farms version, and it is on there. While we're talking Mayhem stuff, we're going to catch up on some ads here.
Let's do it.
Mayhem affiliate programming is set to launch June 1st. June 1st. The programming is led by Darren Hunsucker, the winningest coach in CrossFit history, invented through.
We do love Darren.
By Tasia, Jake, and myself. It says myself on here. I vetted it. Actually, I have been vetting it. This is the exact program our CrossFit Mayhem athletes here in Cookeville have followed for years and is posted to CrossFit.com.
Yes.
You will get to follow 2 weeks behind so we can improve the workouts even more to give you the CrossFit Mayhem fitness experience at your gym, wherever you are. We will include daily coaching videos, programming notes, warm-ups, cool-downs, and more exclusive content and offers. Check out CrossFitMayhem.com/programming to get your gym on our program and join the Mayhem Athlete family.
Ooh.
That's awesome. I know a lot of people messaging about asking about
affiliate programming. And Darren's done a great job for years. Sometimes I have to tone him back a little bit. I'm like, Darren, I get that you're programming for the elite. You know, the when you go to CrossFit level 1, they're always like, hey, you're programming for the best member in your gym and blah, blah, blah. And he's like, well, I'm programming for you, Matt and Tia. And I'm like, no, you're not. Because we don't take the class, so don't do that. So I've had to dial him back. And it's been good for him, too, being up in Michigan. He hasn't been in contact with the members as much, but Darren isn't working out as much. So the workouts, I guess, are hitting him a little harder. So he's been testing the workouts, so he actually knows what it's like, for a normal human being to do these workouts. So it's been good.
Are you sure? He stays fit.
No, he's still super fit.
That's even
but Dre said he's not very motivated whatsoever. When Dre went up there, they barely worked out at all. So we'll see. But it's been good. There's a couple times I went on there and I'm like, Darren, we're not going to have them do a bunch of reps at 205 power clean. It's just probably not, maybe for some strength, but not in the middle of a Metcon. We want to keep some intensity there, so it's been good. I think Trice is chewing on tape.
I was wondering.
Tape or
we're going to keep
paper towel, maybe?
This isn't really
chills.
This isn't really an ad. This is more of just, hey, we're going to keep you in tune on what's going on. But we have M30 Live with Elly. 9:30 a.m. on Mondays, and it's public. Mayhem Monday Live.
We went early today. We did 7:30, but usually it's going to be. Actually, I don't know about that. We might change it, but we'll let you know.
Okay, Mayhem Monday Live is at 10 a.m., and that's open to the public. Then you have M30 Live again on Tuesday, open to the public with Elly. 9:30, may change it, who knows. Wednesday, Mayhem Athlete Live at 8:15, open to the public. Quarantine Live at 3 o'clock, open to the public. Wednesday, you also have Froning and Friends podcast released, and you have an M30 Live workout and Q&A with Tasia and Elly at 2 p.m., which is public.
Wow.
Thursday, you have M30 Live public at 8:15 with Tasia. Friday, M30 Live with Elly at 8:30.
So much live.
Quarantine Live at 3 p.m. And then Sunday, we have Into the Storm, the Bushels.
Wow.
Maybe it's easier to just say when we're not live.
Probably.
Hours of
But then also
8 p.m. to 8 a.m.
But also
every
with your
day.
Mayhem Athlete, we got private classes or private sessions Monday through Thursday. That's basically, I think, what we had with you, Elly, was having you do those while we're doing the other ones. Mm-hmm. And I think those will switch to private once quarantine and everything closes down. So.
Oh, gotcha.
Yep. So just give people a way to work out. So if you want to join any of our Mayhem Athlete programs, Monday through Thursday, we do a live stream of us doing that same session that you guys are doing along with us. So
I'll tell you what, the regulars in those things are so cool.
I've
only done 3-4 M30 lives now, and I just like wait online for the regular people who are there to talk to them. Like they're so awesome.
Yeah, that's with the Mayhem Athlete stuff too. Is there's usually about 40, 45 people in there in the mornings, but there's the same 5 or 6 people that comment.
Yeah. Well, they actually the same ones from M30. I noticed from the other. I was like, oh, we have a lot of crossover. Just watching everything Mayhem. Why not?
Hanging out.
It's funny because they start to have like sort of like personalities, just like people in the gym. Like Timmy
and Trevor. And Randy, Tony.
It's good stuff.
It's been good.
Yeah.
Het asks all the questions.
Who?
Het.
Oh,
Patel.
yeah.
Every single question that could possibly be asked, which is good. You know, he's 19, young kid,
love
trying to
people
figure it
ask
out.
questions.
He started asking me.
He literally
I'm a athlete at
asks
first.
every single question possible about the workout. But he's good dude.
He's probably the person who's maximizing the
He's
subscription the most.
I mean, heck yeah. I mean, it's
Might as
better to
well.
have some
Shout out to
interaction
Het.
than
Bring
no
those
interaction
questions.
at all. So
That's awesome.
Yep.
In the car the other day, I thought about this, and I'm just curious. Have you guys, in your lifetime,
Probably not.
I'm going to guess yes. Have you ever given anyone the middle finger?
Oh, all the time.
Shoot.
Really?
My dad, every time I pass him on the road.
Okay, other than your dad.
For sure.
None of you guys were there with us this year when we were in. I hate when people honk the horn in the car. Like I get if you're sitting at a light too long, or like just
If
like
it's saving someone's life or
Like
something.
a little beep.
Yeah, like hey, pay attention.
Yeah.
But in Miami, I don't know what it was, but people just honk for no reason.
Yeah.
And it drives me crazy. And so literally this light turned. I mean, as soon as it turned, I took off. The guy honks. And so I just sat there. And he like flips me off. So then I just put it in reverse. And not like I'm going to hit him, but I'm in a rental car. But for some reason, I lost my cool a little bit. And Tasia is freaking out. Tasia, China, Scott, everybody's like, Tasia, what are you doing? Oh, we're going to get a fight. Oh, and I'm like, and the guy pulls up and starts yelling. And I start yelling back, and I'm like, roll my window down. Tasia's like, I don't want to get shot. I don't want to get, you know how Tasia, she just freaks out. I'm like, you're not going to get shot.
Worst case scenario.
I don't even remember the whole situation. I was so pissed.
I was riding with Brittany, and it was the first time she had been in Cookville, and we were up on the town square, and the light turned, and she was living in Chicago at that point, and she got on her horn right away. I'm like, whoa, don't do that, stop. And she's looking at me like, what? I'm like, we don't do that here.
No.
People don't honk here.
We ain't from around here.
Yeah.
People carry guns here for sure.
Yeah,
Let's
that's
not do
kind of
that.
scary. You?
No. I usually just feel bad. I don't know.
Yeah. I know.
I get mad, but I don't do that. I don't know,
Well,
go ahead.
No, you please.
I was going to say, like Rich said, when someone's like making you mad and they're like on your tail, sometimes I just drive slower.
Slower, yeah.
You give them the Zen approach.
But
You're
here,
like,
people are like drive really slow. And it makes me really
the worst
mad.
is when they pull out in front of you, like they're going to get out and then they go slow.
They see you're like careening towards them, and then they still pull out and go like,
too
they don't
spicy.
accelerate at all.
Yeah.
It's like
it's super dangerous, actually.
For sure here
they're
on the
like
highway,
20 to 45.
people don't pay attention to that. It drives me nuts.
Yeah.
In Colorado, people will actually get over. They leave the left lane as the fast lane.
Yeah.
People are really good about that. And here, people make a point and stay, and they look at like, I'm going
Like they're
65, and
like they're teaching you a lesson. Or
right,
something.
it's the goofiest thing.
Teaching you a lesson.
I do not like that about
Have
living
you,
here.
Elly?
Well, so my brother, he's 4 years older than me. When I was younger, this was another question. Do you guys remember, and I bought one from Amazon to bring because I was so excited to show you guys, and I forgot it. Do you remember those pinheads? They were like pins, and like you could make a shape in them.
Oh, yeah.
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 Okay,
Yeah.
so he
Like
had
you
one-
smush your like hand into it or
oh,
whatever.
yeah, I've been playing with that at the house all
Like
the
in
time.
Toy Story 2,
Yeah.
Yeah.
when
Sure
Bugs
enough.
gets thrown into it, and he's like,
Yep, that's it.
exactly it. So I see my older brother, he's got some friends over, and they do a middle finger in this thing, and everyone's chuckling. And I was like, interesting. So I didn't know what it meant, so I thought it would be hilarious. He comes walking out, and I just give him the middle finger, and he's like, Mom! Elly gave me the middle finger. And I was like, and then I burst into tears. I don't know what that means.
This is before you knew what it was.
Yeah. So
I got in trouble in first grade for that. One of my buddy's friends flipped us off. I had no idea what it meant. Actually, on the playground, I flipped off some kids. Tattletales.
Oh.
it just didn't
Socialist.
have
Stand
the
by the fence
same.
for 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
I think so.
I can't remember the last time I flipped somebody off, but for sure I have.
Yeah, I was just kind
I
of.
most of the time do it out of fun.
Yeah.
Anger.
Yeah.
It's
I've
not
done it for
real.
sure
Literally
with people
every
that are
time
my
me and my dad
friends.
pass each other on the road.
Right.
Middle finger.
Yeah.
That's kind of more of like a, now it's
endearing.
I was going to say, that's exactly what I was looking for.
What?
What?
Those fingernails. What is the deal
You
with
like
that?
them?
Well, it's so bright.
Well, I tried to get my toes painted that same color, but there was a miscommunication in the number I picked.
That's what Haley said. They painted them the wrong color or something.
I just looked down and I didn't realize what was happening.
Oh, no.
Obviously, I wasn't paying attention. Now my toes are neon blue.
That is seriously bright fingernail polish. It's not bad. I'm just.
You won't lose me.
No, it's.
I mean, if I swim in a place where there's fish, I might get attacked, but only one way to find out.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Fishing lure.
Fishing lure. What about a fishing lure? That's what they look like. Yeah. Have you guys seen the Talking Pet app?
No.
Have you? You guys haven't seen this? Oh my gosh, I wonder if Tasia's seen it. Oh, we're going to have to do it to get her lately. So, when I was back home, I don't remember what I was doing, and someone showed me, they're like, have you seen this? And I was like, no. So, you take like a picture or a video of your animal, and you can adjust the sound to what you think they sound like, and it makes their mouth move perfectly, and you record what you want them to say, and it repeats it. It's unbelievable.
I wish I would have invented that.
Yeah, you probably could. You could have a lot of fun with that with all of your animals too.
I'd be a millionaire.
Yeah. Sorry, I don't have it downloaded. I wasn't that, invested, but it did entertain me. I will say. You can speak to
Maybe I'll
people.
take a video of Thor.
You should in the Talking
All he
Pet
ever
app.
says is, "Do you have snacks?" All he cares about is food.
You have to just decide what his voice is,
Dipper
though.
just says rock.
Oh yeah, he definitely
Rock.
on repeat. Rock.
Man, that's good.
Good stuff.
What is what is the word you're talking about? You keep saying we're coming out with, and I never.
Biltong.
What are you saying?
Biltong.
What is that?
Biltong.
I don't understand what that is.
Biltong.
What is Biltong? Who is Bill and
Google
Tong?
Biltong.
I don't know what that is either.
And it's amazing.
Bill.
Is it a kind of meat?
No.
How do
Bison
you
meat?
spell
Bison
it?
meat.
Is it like it?
B-I-L.
Uh-huh.
L. T-O-N-G. Maybe one L.
T-O-N-G.
What you got, Violet?
Not like tongue. It's tong.
Tong. Biltong.
Well, that's where I was concerned. I thought you were saying tongue, and I assumed it was bison tongue.
Nope. Biltong.
Bill Tong.
That
Wikipedia.
cranberry jalapeno was delicious.
Interesting.
It's amazing.
It's a form of dried, cured meat that originated in southern African countries. Various types of meat are used to produce it, ranging from beef to game meat such as ostrich or kudu. The cut may also vary.
It's
Okay,
outstanding.
so what is yours going to be made out of?
What else would it be made out of, Ellie?
This says ostrich.
I'm making it out of sparrow meat.
Okay, you're making it out of bison. I get
Okay.
it.
Congratulations, Captain Obvious.
I thought that maybe it was had to be ostrich.
Yeah,
No.
because we got free-range ostrich running around out there.
I did see 2 turkeys coming to your place today.
I don't want to talk about turkey.
I saw
On the
some
road.
when I was driving up too.
Me too.
You a little salty?
No, I'm just
Yeah, are you salty?
Yeah, I'm salty. Turkey season's over, and it was a crap. Like, it was just, the weather was cold, so there was one today just gobbling right across the field, like, hey,
loser, I'm over here.
Hey, loser.
hey, you can't do anything to me. I'll show you.
Yeah.
I'll
my
show
land.
you.
I saw that you took Lakelyn.
And we took Lakelyn. Man,
That looked awesome.
Did she hang with you, or?
yeah, we walked like 2.5 miles. She did. She kept going, I'm sweaty. I don't want to walk anymore.
sweaty.
Carry me. I was like, no, I'm not carrying you. Anyway, story about that is, so
Was it her idea to go?
she's been wanting to go all, so I was like, all right, let's go.
That's awesome.
So I got her some camo. I had to zip tie her pants because they were like too big.
Aw.
It was the last pair of youth small, and they were still huge. But so we walk in, me, Matt, and Lake walk down the hill. We go to this field, huge field, nothing out there. Bunch of cows, and it's basically 3 sections of fields with some like tree breaks in between where there used to be fences. And so we just kind of walk, and we're like, maybe around this one we'll see something, nothing. There's always turkeys out there. We just went out a little bit late because Lakelyn wouldn't get up at 5. I knew that.
Right.
And I really didn't want to get up at 5 anyway. So this time of year too, they'll patrol a little bit later anyway. But so we come around this last corner, and there's always turkeys out there. Sure enough, I see this little hen's head. I'm like, all right, at least we see something. I was like, it's not nothing you can shoot. You can't shoot hens. And so I'm like, all right, let's sneak up to it. I just wanted Lakelyn to see it more than anything. Me and Matt load our guns. We didn't want to keep them loaded with Lakelyn around, just being smart. So we're sneaking up. And looking back, it was so stupid because I'm like not mentally prepared because I didn't think we'd see anything at all anyway because we had Lakelyn. And then 2, I thought it was a hen. Well, it was a hen. Well, we crossed this little knoll, and it like drops down about 20 feet into the woods. And as soon as we top this little thing, 2 redheads just staring at us. Me and Matt pull our guns up. Both of us fire. Click.
Oh.
Didn't have the shell slid in all the way.
Right.
And so click.
Oh,
they take off flying.
Jeez. What Lakelyn have to say?
Could have doubled up. She was like, "Well, let's go get him." Like, that's not how it works, baby.
Right.
But I mean, like, look within both of us within 20 feet. Both click, and he does the same thing. We both, he said he heard me slide off my safe, so he slid his off, and we both pulled the trigger, and both of them. It made me sick. You're like,
no go.
Oh man, I still see, like, I can see their head, like, because the thing looks at you like, oh, and then it's
like,
gone.
oh.
Perfect.
He's like, see ya.
So frustrated.
Lost your chance.
So
perfect timing.
Yeah. Well, at least you guys got to do the walking and all that
So did she have
stuff.
fun though? She was like, she thought it was cool.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Are you next?
She's like, yeah, this is great.
That's
Love
awesome.
me some buffalo bites.
Bison bites and whatever Biltong.
Biltong.
I'm going to have to, You always say it like that too, and I was like, am I missing
There's
something?
a Duck Dynasty episode where he eats Biltong.
Oh.
Biltong.
Says Biltong the whole time. Biltong.
I wonder if that's, I remember.
Speaking of Froning Farms,
this
one's not very long. We have Sticks, Bars, and Apparel. Yeah, we got redoing all of our packaging, all that stuff, so that'll be out soon. But we have Sticks coming back in, Bars. They went out. We had to make a pretty sizable order, so hope everybody's enjoying that.
What's your best seller of the Froning Farms stuff?
Honestly, our Sticks and Bars are rising now that everybody's trying them. They're so good. The bites are amazing.
What's in the bar?
The sticks are great too, but they're just pretty much just straight up bison meat, which are really good and really healthy. But these have some like cranberry in there.
It's delicious.
Delicious. But that biltong is going to be very low in fat, no carbohydrate, mostly protein. So we got that. We got Into the Storm shirts. We have the OD green ones now, and we have the Serve shirt.
Cool.
Basically, like I said, the sister shirt to the Prey shirt, and 25% of proceeds from that go to the Mayhem Mission. So
that's pretty awesome. Do you guys have any missions set up or anything yet?
Yeah, Brian's working on some. There's this thing called Outside the Box, which we did last year in Gadsden. It's a race. That's more of a fundraiser. That's not an actual mission. And
Is that the thing that you and Jess and Darren did?
Uh-huh.
Oh, cool. That looks really fun. That looks like an adventure race, kind of.
Yeah. And then Brian has an event set up. He's going down into the Amazon.
Oh my gosh.
Just
That's
to
serious.
do some stuff, and then in Nepal next year. So those are
wow.
our things right now. We don't have anything domestically planned yet. The idea is to do a mix between domestic stuff and international stuff. So just getting going.
Is it like the kind of like mission work that he's used to? Or are you trying to merge it with fitness, or is there anything else?
Yes and no. It's kind of like the idea is on some of the missions that we're going to go on, you're going to have some type of fitness, but we want to be also inclusive to people that don't necessarily do fitness all the time. So
right,
we're actually going to have like we have a board set up. We had our first board meeting last week, but they'll have like a application process if people want to
kind of come along, participate.
That, and like if they have an idea of something they want us to support.
Oh, that's cool.
So we'll be doing that, taking those applications soon.
That's awesome.
Everything's got to get set up. Right now, the IRS is a little slow on getting 501c3s or 501(c)(3)s or
501c3.
C3.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, it's cool too because I've seen a lot of mission groups that it's not necessarily like a fitness mission or like I've seen like ones with dance and music and stuff like that. It's not necessarily that the people have to do it, but like you can go and include people who you're ministering to in some of those activities, and then it really breeds a lot of trust and community with the group that you're going to serve and speak to because, hey, they just danced with you or sang with you or worked out with you, and I thought that was like a really cool way of getting to know, not just going to necessarily like, I think it's great to go and minister, but it's awesome when you're building community and trust with the people that you're,
you don't want to just
serving.
Go in and say, hey, do this, or hey, believe this. Right. Like we always talk, you don't want to be that guy. or that girl. That's just like there needs to be some type of relationship and some type of community before you just start, preaching.
I like the idea of doing things outside of fitness too, which is really cool. CrossFit has had kind of an impact where there are a lot of people that want to go kind of do missionary type work, and they they open up a box and they start with that, just being in the community and developing community. And
we got a friend that does Get Strong.
Get Strong Ministries.
Where's that at?
Nicaragua.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
It's a CrossFit gym that.
Yeah.
It's a mission.
Yeah.
Well, that's really awesome.
I think in October maybe there's a trip going there.
Oh, I think Jacob's talking about
Yeah.
Yeah.
He texted me about that. I'd like to do that.
Yeah, definitely. That's a great point on that too. I don't know what I was listening to the other day, but it was something about because we all often have like so much routine and whatnot, and they were saying, do you ever spend time in other environments? Like, do you spend time in other environments to force yourself to grow sometimes? Because sometimes we're always like in our same environment routine. It's just one of those conversations that came up around like quarantine and doing things like that. And, what are some other tactics and things you can do to grow? And the question came up, do you spend time in different environments? So that's my question to you guys. Do you ever
outside of your comfort zone, basically?
Yeah, I guess it makes sense.
No, I probably don't. I don't know. Being honest.
I mean, it's kind of hard to do if you're dedicated to like one certain thing.
Yeah.
Then you obviously have to be
now.
committed to that. So
Yeah, that is true.
So the answer is no.
Yeah.
But but there's reason.
Right, I do like that. The idea,
Somewhat.
though, even though I heard you say, Jim, not that I was eavesdropping on your conversation. I just happened to be moving to Cell Runners. You were telling, someone, which you've said in Mindset, this isn't confidential information that, you said, I spend a lot of time around people. I don't know if you said like are the best to be the best in the world at something. You can't have balance. So, I mean, I think there's massive value, and I think we should put ourselves in different environments because how else do you learn about other people and things? But to your point, I think if you have a specific focus at the time, it is very difficult to, like you're saying, Kristin, to have that. Did I paraphrase that right from what you're saying this morning? Yeah,
the guy that was working with this morning's a really interesting guy, and he was just talking about mentors in his life and people that he pays attention to, and he was just talking about how those men have encouraged him to be balanced. And I understood what he was trying to say, even though it's not really kind of my thing.
Yeah.
I really don't believe in balance at all. Maybe in like soft skills, I get that. But I was just saying, man, look, if you want to be great at something, you better be intentional.
Yeah.
And you got to figure that out. You can't be great. And I bring up you guys, Yeah,
we had this discussion on that Darren Woodson podcast.
Yeah.
You can't. Like, if you want to be the best, you can't.
Yeah. Because you're not going to be the best.
Balance to me means you can be pretty good at a lot of things, and I think you can. Being intentional, you got to pick 2 or 3 things, and then you got to go all in, and it's got to be something that's consuming.
Right. Well, to that point too, one of the other questions around that conversation was, do you spend time with people who teach you things or mentor you? Because I mean, we've all talked about we've had amazing mentors here and there, but even no matter what phase of life you're in, who do you spend time with that teaches you something different outside the scope of your everyday, what you're doing every single day? And do you still spend time with mentors? Do you challenge yourself to spend time with mentors or anything like that, Yeah,
I think it's important to have somebody in your life like that's a little bit older. I like the term or like the word perspective. I think we're trying to gain perspective all the time. So I like somebody who's been down the road a little bit more than me and who can say, hey, this is actually what it's like.
Wisdom.
Yeah. And then somebody who's younger, it's important to stay I'm connected to somebody who has that perspective. So
yeah.
The things my wife has to say are really important because she's female and I'm male, and I can't think like that. Yeah. So I don't think we should be listening to everybody's opinions at all, but we should have people in our life that we believe in, that we got some miles with, where we can get something. Try it on for size.
Yeah.
Don't necessarily do what they tell us to do, but you just take what they say and try it on for size, see if it works.
Yeah. Do you guys have any current mentors or things like that?
Yeah. I mean, that's the people who are closest to me all fit that category for sure.
Yeah, they don't have to be older, or they can be younger, they can be whatever. Yeah.
And that's not really like I don't go to them like sit down and talk for 20 minutes once a month. Those are just my friends. Those are people that I actually want to be in life with,
Yeah, right. For sure.
Although that has to be really hard for you because, I mean, I've seen it walking into the coffee shop with you. I always tell people it's like walking into Cheers. You're like Norm. They're like, Norm! And like I've been, we've been having coffee before or whatever. And then like it's like there's like a line of people that are like, oh, hey, Jim, you want to talk for 5? So, I mean, I think that's, especially in your profession, that also has to be difficult too because you can only mentor so much. But that's an awesome gift to have,
I have to be careful because you've got to turn all that off. My brain wants to think that way all the time, not necessarily in mentoring people, but I just am interested in talking about all this all the time. I have to stop doing that sometimes and just work out,
Oh, no.
What happened?
He got thunked some way, somehow. That's a legit cry right there.
Oh,
good, buddy?
When you're holding your breath. The Trice cry, he's always like, are you okay, dude?
You're good.
You need a bison bite.
Okay. No, because they're gone.
Oh, sorry, just kidding.
That ate them all.
We have water. That's all we have.
He's good now,
I just bonked your head with my headphones.
This kid recovers fast, though.
He does.
Yeah.
He's kind of tired right now, but
Oh, you do look a little. You got like sleepy face
Instantly
on there, Trace,
better.
man.
Yeah.
He was so funny this morning as we're in there and he's got his tractor and he's like literally doing laps around the barn, but it's like a movie because you only have those open spaces and you just see him like go by with it. It's like, and then he goes around to the other side. You were Mr. Tractor today, Trice, man.
No.
No. Oh, yes, you were.
No.
He's like, all right, I'm out. There's enough of that. Okay, I feel better. See you guys later.
That's how I get, though, when I need a nap, just like that. Get all
Do you still
grouchy.
take naps? I wish I took naps.
I can do like a 20-minute nap sometimes.
Wish I could.
For sure.
I mean, you have 3 humans. Your nap likelihood is probably 0%.
Taken like maybe 2 in the last 10 years.
Man, I get up at 5 every day.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes, depending on what we've done in the afternoon, I'll try to close my eyes for 20 minutes.
Yeah. That way you get a little power nap
5
and
is
not
a
too
different
tired.
animal. Like 6 is
Mhm.
hard, but 5 is completely different.
Yeah.
We
We're
don't have
waking
any
up at like
bars.
5:20 when we have
Yeah, but you
these
can't
like
have a bar in
morning
there.
since we've been working at 8:15
Yeah.
just to get some stuff done. And it's like
Yeah.
you're right. But I finally gotten to a point where I get tired enough at night that I can wake up that early instead of like being a night owl and staying up late. That's
It's a
usually
nice
my problem.
transition,
Is
yeah.
the staying up late that makes it hard to get up early.
Right.
You have to get to the point of exactly what you're saying. Like, you have to commit to like a couple days in a row of the 5
feeling-
a.m.-ish.
yeah, and being like
and then you'll finally
a
get to the
zombie.
point at like 8 o'clock where you're like, I can't even, where am I? And then you can sleep, and then you're in the right,
Yep, exactly.
I was kind of wondering how that was going to go this morning because I got up at like 5
my
something
gosh.
too, and I was like, the first time's usually so like, it's like you wake up with one eye open, you're like, what? No.
You know you have to eat breakfast, but you're like not even hungry really because it feels that early.
It's the middle of the night.
I don't know how people do like getting to a CrossFit class at like 5:30 a.m.
Yeah.
Isn't that
Have you guys done that
nuts?
before?
Yeah.
Because that's
No.
like if you have to wake up in the
I
hour
haven't
before,
either. Like
Full on going hard right
like
at 5.
that means you got to be in bed at what 7:30?
Yep.
Yeah. I mean,
That's like
I'm
early.
going to
early.
sleep by 9 in order to do what I do.
I can't. Yeah.
Like
Which
to
means-
be like, can you like high intensity workout at 5?
No.
No. I remember, I coached a 6 a.m. class briefly when I was in Florida. And I feel like that demographic has operated on that early morning level for so long because they're all such a, not to generalize, but a similar personality that they all come in. They're like wide-eyed, like no one comes in dragging. It's like they get around the corner on 2 wheels. They got 3 minutes to class. They're in, they're ready to go. And you're like, who are you people? And I'm like, welcome to CrossFit.
And they're also like, when it's 6:30, they're out.
Yes.
Because they're on a mission.
And
you
they
know?
all have like
Whereas,
their suits in their bag or whatever. And
like
they are in and out.
At my home gym, the 9 o'clockers would be like, okay, they're in it, not like into workout at 9, but then they kind of dally into like 10:30 or something.
It's
you know,
a great description of that. Yeah.
But like the early risers are like, let's go.
No, the 6 a.m.ers.
But it would
are
be
like,
nice to not have to worry about doing another workout later on or something.
For sure. It feels like 2
You know
days.
what? You get up at 5 a.m., you should probably have your blood work checked. There's something wrong with you.
I get my blood work checked all the time. So.
And you know who does that?
Oh, that was a
Inside
good segue.
Tracker?
Yes,
Nicely
Inside
done.
Tracker.
Do they really?
Inside Tracker analyzes your blood, DNA, and lifestyle choices because that's a poor lifestyle choice. Getting up there. They give you an ultra-personalized nutrition plan so you can meet your goals. They just recently launched a new immunity plan which focuses on key blood biomarkers associated with immunity, stress, and you guessed it, sleep. so that we all have the ability to take control of our health in these unprecedented times.
Unprecedented.
Check out info.insidetracker.com/immunity strength. There's a link in the description.
There's a link to immunity.
We have
immunity now.
This little dog. So I was more angry this week than I have been in years.
Oh no!
Like,
why?
Because this dog will bark 30 minutes before you're supposed to get up. So it doesn't matter if you're getting up at 7.
How does it
barks
know?
At 6. I don't know.
Maybe it's a savant.
But it's this little tiny Yorkie poo that was my daughter's that we inherited, and we have a baby gate that kind of blocks in the hallway, so he can't come out of the living room down to the bedroom. And 30 minutes, but he doesn't bark loud. He just goes. Buff.
Maybe he knows your sleep cycles, and maybe he's doing what's best for you.
There's something about the repetition, though, of like it's not quite like.
He sort of kind of got it figured out.
Yeah.
So I had to get a water bottle and spray him. He's too little to smack because you kill him.
No.
You know, you can't like.
So
he just gets afraid and trembles, so you just have to like squirt him with the water bottle.
Well, you know, though, there are dogs,
Little
and
dogs,
Cam,
man.
you might know about
Yappy little
this.
thing.
Do you know there are dogs that they're really, really expensive dogs that if you're diabetic, you can buy, and they can, I don't know, it has to be done by smell, but they can sense when your blood sugar is too low because you can die in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
And they will wake you up.
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
I mean, maybe, is it Spanky? Which one's the one that barks?
Yogi.
So, I mean, maybe Yogi has an incredible skill set.
Maybe Yogi thinks you're going to die. That's what she's saying.
Yeah.
Well, I do know that Spanky
Spanky
doesn't like it when you snore.
Oh.
So if I would fall asleep on the couch, he will climb up and stand on my chest and be looking down at me.
Hey,
You
shut
know,
up,
like-
man.
Like, hey,
Some of us are trying to rest over
he's
here.
not trying to rescue me though, for sure. He's like literally like, hey,
I
Like,
cut you off
leave.
earlier, but how good was Grumpy Old Men?
so good.
So good, right?
That made me laugh. There's so
one's
many
good,
things
too.
we can't say
No,
on
so
the
many.
podcast
Yeah.
that were
Yeah.
so awesome.
I gotta watch that.
The old man, the father.
Oh, so good.
So
His
funny.
outtakes. The second one, he's
Yeah.
even better in the second one.
I gotta watch it.
He has a bigger part in the second one. Oh, man, it's so good.
That was a great movie.
Yeah, it's great.
Have you seen that?
I don't think I
You
have.
need to watch that. That's really
It
funny.
sounds funny. I want to laugh. I want
Yeah.
to watch
Great.
something funny.
Grumpy and Grumpy.
Have you seen that one?
A long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it funny? Or are they
think
just
so.
making it up?
No, I
I
laughed
think
so
it
hard.
was.
Like
Yeah.
I wasn't
My
sure.
parents loved it.
And I
Yeah.
laughed so hard.
Yeah,
it
it's
it was like so inappropriate in the
Oh,
best
yeah.
way.
Yeah.
Everything they had to say
Yep,
was so
putts.
funny.
Yep.
These two old men chasing the
Walter
same girl.
Matthau and Jack Lemmon.
Jack Lemmon, yeah. It's good. Gave me hope.
Yeah.
Gave me hope.
Yep. It's so
I
good.
can be like that.
Hope.
Right around. Yeah, they're like really old men. I'm
You're
like, yeah.
not old.
I know, but it gave me hope for the
Oh,
future.
okay.
Like,
It's what you got to look forward to.
that's it. Just kidding. Come on.
There's a hard one. This is these are questions from the other conversation I was thinking about earlier. Do you remember any specific moments that changed the trajectory of your life? Okay, the rope climbing thing. Come on, that's like, we know that one.
Every
A lot of
decision
those.
changes the, like, you could venture to say anything.
Well, yeah, of course, I guess. I guess that's fair.
Yeah. Every decision changes the course of your life.
Like big ones, big moments. Is that what you're saying? Like,
yeah, it was a conversation around big moments, and one of the people talking was obsessed with the study of big moments because they're just so important in your life and everything. You know, like, so what do you do in big moments? How do you respond to big moments? Because basically your life depends on how you respond to them and what happens during them, but it's not like you can ever anticipate them, that sort of thing. So
Sometimes you need to preface this that you're going to make these questions because you can't really, like, on the spot think of.
what if
Yeah.
I thought you were just going to drop some wisdom?
yeah. Well,
You're saying you would like better prefaces next time.
Just maybe a little heads up. If you're going to go a deep question, like something to think about, that's not.
We go all over the place. Okay, I'll do a better job prefacing for
I
you.
don't really want to talk about deep stuff on this podcast, though.
Okay,
That's kind of the point of this thing. That's too far, like.
just being silly.
okay, you got it.
I'm just kidding, Elly.
There are a lot of like, I mean, for sure,
Yeah.
I've failed in some moments when I needed to have made a better choice, and then done okay in some places where
I think
it was
every
important.
Every
Change it.
day you make, you know. stuff that's going to change the trajectory.
Yeah.
Speaking of trajectory, I watched Days of Thunder last night.
Ooh,
Such a good movie.
that is an excellent movie.
Can't wait for Top Gun 2.
When does that come out?
However, I love Days of Thunder. It's a great movie, but it's horrible. Representation of NASCAR.
For
horrible.
Sure. It's one of the worst great movies.
Yeah.
But how so? What do you mean?
Multiple things. Partly,
Do tell.
the aerodynamics are such a huge factor at Daytona that him driving his car and wrecking his car like crazy, there's no chance. Also, the fact that there's a crash, and the rules have changed over the years, but still, so there's a crash. The yellow flag's going to come out. Why the hell are you stomping on the gas to go through this crash like a moron?
Yeah.
Slow down, stop, let it clear out.
Yeah, with the fog and the smoke and all the
you're
whole...
like, what?
Cold trickle.
Cold trickle.
That is a good
He
name.
deserves to crash and have brain injury because he's a moron. I think it's a great movie, but you just look at it and you got to look at it as, for me being a NASCAR fan, you got to look at it for entertainment, not for real. But you're just like, who was the person? Because they hire people to make sure stuff's somewhat realistic.
Right.
It's not realistic at all.
I love Tom Cruise movies, man.
Oh yeah, he's great.
Tom Cruise is dude.
A little bit of a
people make fun of him, but
Yeah, well, that's probably why he's so good at what he does. But I still don't understand that part of NASCAR. I feel like I learned a little bit about it way back when. But everyone, if a flag yellow or red comes out, then you...
Yellow
I
flag?
felt like it was unfair when I learned what the system was. I was like, well, how can that be...
It's not unfair. There's a
Like,
crash.
everyone has to...
There's a crash.
Yeah, but what if
Yellow
you're way
flag.
far ahead?
Well, there's a crash.
See, but that seems unfair if you work the entire race 100 bazillion laps to get ahead of everybody, and then you have to go back to...
It's the way it's always been. There's a crash. You're endangering other people's lives, so they bring everybody back
Right,
together.
I get that.
Drive it 70 miles an hour, clean up the crash, or a red flag. Everybody stops completely. You can't work on your car whatsoever, but a caution. Yeah.
And have a restart.
Pretty simple.
Was it the first race of the year this weekend?
No, it was the first race back from COVID. Yeah, it was 7 weeks where they'd been doing this iRacing stuff, which was actually pretty cool.
How did that work?
So basically, they raced through a sim platform, not a game. You can't call it a game. It's a simulation platform. This company called iRacing scans the tracks, so they don't build digital versions. They actually scan the tracks and upload them into this sim, and then a lot of the drivers have been doing it over the years, but they've got a bunch of the drivers that were are professionals. And what was kind of cool is if me and you were playing Madden, we're not really doing anything near what our craft is. If whatever, or NFL football players,
right?
But the NASCAR guys, they're actually driving, and you look at this thing and it looks like a real race. Obviously there's some digital stuff going on in there. But it was pretty cool. It was enough to ready to have real cars back on the track and that type of stuff, because there's no element of danger in there.
Oh yeah.
Were they compensated for that?
I'm sure sponsors and stuff like that.
That's cool.
Was anybody better in the simulator than they were actually on the real track?
Real good. Because part of the problem and part of the disparity in NASCAR is if you have crappy equipment, you're a good driver. It doesn't matter what you do.
Yeah.
And so what they did with these were everybody had a blanket set up. So all the cars were set up the same. And so
interesting.
So it was cool. It was cool to watch. At least it was different. It was better than nothing. And like I said, there's still some skill to it, and there's still similar to what they do versus playing on a controller and doing different things. It was kind of cool. Man, a lot of those guys had $30,000, $50,000 rigs.
Wow.
Jeez.
Setups.
Wow.
How is that even possible?
And then one of the guys randomly, car takes a hard left, and they're like, what the hell just happened? His daughter turned off the TV.
Oh, no.
Or unplugged the thing. Or whatever it was. Denny Hamlin. It was on People magazine. But
That's hilarious.
Yeah, it was pretty
that's
cool.
Funny.
But yeah, they were back this weekend for the first time in 6 or 7 weeks. So they're actually going to race Sunday, Wednesday at the same track. So they're limiting the travel. No fans, no families, limited skeleton crews, engineers and stuff that are usually there are watching and, interfacing via internet. But they're going to go 2 races at one track, 2 races at Charlotte. So they're 2 races at Darlington, 2 races at Charlotte, midweek and then weekend. And then I think they're going to try to jump back on a normal-ish schedule. So another cool thing about that iRacing thing was they raced at a racetrack they haven't raced at since 1996.
Oh, cool.
And this track has basically just fallen apart. And Dale Jr., like, he's huge into iRacing, and so he led this charge, and he's huge into the history of NASCAR. His family, he's third generation. And so he actually led a group of people that went out and cleaned up the track surface so that they could scan it. Because iRacing's like, no, we won't just build the track. Like, we have to actually scan the track. And so it's kind of cool.
That's cool.
That's really cool.
I watched maybe the last 80 laps yesterday.
Yeah.
And then at the end, after Harvick had won, he did his donut or whatever. It was weird with no people.
And they had the like arm, the boom on the mic. Like it's just like
the guy couldn't get close to him.
I get it, but come on.
Yeah.
You're in contact with them, like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And probably all those people have been tested too. They're not going to let them be there.
Yeah.
That's weird.
I get, and I'm sure they have to do it because as soon as they don't, it's going to start this huge media or social media thing. And it's just, but man.
Yeah, it was weird.
That's where we're at.
But do you think it's like other, I mean, I know it's a sport in a different way, but if they haven't been able to get on a track, I don't know if they have been able to drive anywhere, like in practice. But if you don't practice that and then you just go get back out on a track, I wonder, is there a curve?
They didn't qualify, did they?
So, no, they didn't qualify. No practice. No nothing. First turn was first turn. And the craziest thing, too, is they have a guy named Matt Kenseth. One of the guys, Kyle Larson, was on that iRacing game, didn't realize his mic was hot and said a racial slur. Lost basically lost his job, lost his ride, everything. So they brought in a guy that he's a Hall of Famer who hasn't raced in 2 years or a year and a half to come drive his car.
Wow.
And he's going to drive for the rest of the season. But can you imagine not being in a car for a year and a half? That first turn, Dale Jr. was talking to him. He's like, what do you think? He's like, or he goes, are you nervous? He goes, you think I'm nervous? Imagine what everybody else around me's thinking. So
I'd be worried about him.
I guess the answer is yes then, a little bit. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe it's like riding a bike.
Crazy. But he finished like 10th or something like that, so not bad.
That's pretty impressive.
Had a really hard track. Darlington's super hard track. It's not a ton of grip there. It's got single lane, like hard to pass, that type of stuff.
So what sports are back?
Tough to change.
UFC?
Oh, yeah, and that was another thing. UFC's back. Professional bull riding.
Bull riding, that's what you're talking about.
Yeah, because Junior was talking, I saw on Twitter that I guess, because NASCAR was saying we're the first major sport back, and then NASCAR didn't even say it. I think, news and all that stuff was saying the first major sport back. And the president, I think, of PBR was like, that's BS, blah, blah, blah. We've been back. We've had 3, let's get this trending that we were the first back. And Dale Jr.'s like, that's fine, man. You guys can have it. Let's just go racing. Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Right,
who cares? Like, come on.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, I was talking to my dad the other day. He goes, honey, there are no sports on. He goes, I cannot believe I just watched 15 minutes of something that I'll never get back. And it was professional cornhole.
Yeah.
And he goes,
really?
Yeah. He's like, I can't get that back. No offense to anyone who wants to or is aspiring professional cornhole player, but it just
That's a thing?
wasn't. That's what I said. I was like, how many?
Can you make money at it?
If you throw a bag that many times in the exact same distance and the exact same.
You know what else comes in a bag? Kettle Bros popcorn.
Oh.
They've mastered the perfect protein snack with a mix of sweet and salty kettle corn and protein-packed drizzle. The newly released line of protein-packed popcorn, say that 15 times fast, has 40 grams of protein per bag and available in 3 delicious flavors. Go follow them on Instagram at Kettle Bros and use the discount Froning for 10% off your entire order at kettlebros.com.
What's your favorite one?
All of them are delicious, actually.
Yeah.
Cookies and cream one's amazing. The peanut butter chocolate one's great.
So
but to your point, yeah, cornhole. I don't know. It's fun, but it's
it's like a fun.
Yeah.
Just if you have to do that, I wonder if they change the task of it, the distance, something. Because imagine I know it takes 10,000 whatever to be a professional, but if it's the same distance, the same shot, I just don't.
Whatever.
10,000.
10,000 hours, I believe.
Oh.
I don't think it's like
10,000
meters.
I was just thinking
whatever.
I was going to say repetitions, and it is hours. My bad. Don't know.
What about axe throwing? I've seen that on ESPN.
Do we have an axe throwing place here?
Yeah.
I think.
Have you ever seen the fails where it bounces off the thing and the axe
That's
goes back at
like,
people?
yeah, what are you, like, come on, what are we doing? Why are we throwing axes?
Right?
Yeah.
Who came up with
If
this?
it's a possibility,
Let's go
why are we
bowling.
doing
Let's go
it?
bowling, man. Like,
Have you seen those, Joe?
Yeah, I've not seen the fails, but I've
they're terrible. They're
It
so
comes
bad.
straight back at you.
did
Like,
you ever see the one, there's another fail of this guy shooting, I'm pretty sure it's a 50 cal or some big
wow.
gun. Shoots and it ricochets off and knocks
Oh my gosh.
head or ear protection off. You're just like, well, you were dead.
Nope. Yep. Maybe not do that one.
I had a conversation with my wife the other day about a hatchet or an axe, and she'd never used one before, and she was going to grab one and split some wood, and I was like, no, let's not do that. No. And
give her a sawzall.
Yeah.
I don't even know about sawzall.
No.
Let me do that.
Let me do that.
Sawzall is basically, it's a power tool. It's like basically a Theragun with a knife blade.
Oh, okay. I've seen one of those. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, shoot, I've just gone on calls with people who ricocheted or missed, and
I had a lady. One of the calls I was on. We don't use snow blowers around here.
Right.
Some lady stuck her hand in a snow blower. Yeah.
What does a snowblower do? Does it chop it up or something?
Yeah, it has this thing like her hand. Ugh. It was bad.
So there was like a Barstool video, and I just followed them for the first time. And
Barstool's
this is so crazy.
Funny.
But there's a lady, and she's got a hatchet, and she's going to split some wood with a hatchet. And the hatchet doesn't weigh as much as the piece of wood, so you know what's getting ready to happen. And she goes to whack that thing, and it back on her face. Right into her forehead, and she didn't get caught with the blade, but the backside of it.
Force trauma still does something.
I was showing my wife. I was like, "See, I'll split all the wood."
This is why we don't.
Blunt force trauma still do it.
Oh man! And the video cut off after that. I don't know what happened, but holy smokes!
Man, those ones where people hurt themselves. You're just like,
I don't know if I can watch those.
Yeah.
I can't watch it again. I'll watch it once, but I'm like, can't watch it again. Knees bending backwards and stuff. I'm like, nope, I'm out.
Skateboarding stuff where they
rack themselves,
or they snap their femur when they land.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, that's pretty.
Nah, dude, I'm good.
That's pretty gross.
Not about it.
No, I ain't about that life.
Yeah, I'm pretty good on that front.
All right. It's got to be close, right?
Yeah, I think we're
55.
Oh, 55.
49.
55.
I started a little bit late. Well, you know what we have time for? One more ad.
Perfect.
RP Strength. As you guys know, I've been using the RP Diet app for a while now. It really helps me focus on training and not worry about what I'm eating. We've been pretty busy around here pumping out all these workout videos on YouTube. So if you're trying to lose fat, gain muscle, or improve your performance, search RP Diet app in the App Store. Use referral code Froning for 33% off. That's 1/3 off on your subscription. Don't forget to find them on Instagram at RP Strength. I have had a lot of questions about people saying, "Hey, we use RP app, but I can't do intermittent fasting in the app." And so what you do is you trick the app. So you set your wake time because it's all based on time and when you're awake, when you go to sleep. So I set my wake time as what time I usually eat. And so then my window is.
Interesting.
Wow. That's kind of brilliant. I would have thought of that.
Yeah.
All right, then.
Cheat code.
Cheat
code as well as Froning. 33% off.
Bingo.
Froning hack.
Jim, Mayhem Mindset stuff?
Yeah, it's all right there.
Going?
It's going great.
MayhemMindset.com.
Jump on board.
Anything coming up?
No, we had that big sale.
Yeah.
And that was, we put 42 people in the course, which was really cool.
Yeah.
So the prices are kind of normal right now, but.
And then you're also doing some live stuff with you, right?
Every Monday for people who get in the self-paced 2, we do 3 hours that you can kind of pick and choose from. Nice. So I do a 7 o'clock, a 5 o'clock, and a 6 o'clock, and you jump on there and we talk, and good community, which is cool. And then I get to have something to say about where you're at in the course, and works good.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's about all we got. Mayhem Madness stuff. I think we're going to release some stuff. So check our Instagram or YouTube, all that stuff, CrossFitMayhem.com. Yeah. Peace.
That's it.